Okay. Good afternoon. I would like to call the Committee on Government Operations to order. Madam Clerk, please take roll call.
Commissioner Wilson has requested an excuse. Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. Commissioner Kniezek. Commissioner Colleen. Chair Clemente.
Here.
You have a quorum present.
Thank you. Next item, please.
B, Chairwoman's remarks.
I have none. Next item.
C, approval of the February 11, 2026 meeting minutes.
We have a motion by Commissioner Clean, seconded by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. If everyone could please vote on your tablets.
Motion carried.
Thank you. We have no unfinished business. Let's move right to new business number 1, please.
Item 1, requesting Commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 12-month cooperative agreement with Oracle America to provide Oracle functional experts to directly assume responsibilities from existing county subject matter experts assigned to the various Connect 43 modules comprising the Human Capital Management, Enterprise Performance Management, and Enterprise Resource Planning environments.
Thank you. And who is here for this item?
Hi, through the chair, Mike Jamison on Zoom, the Connect 43
Hold on a
project
second, Mike.
director.
We can't hear you. I don't know if it's on our end or yours. Okay, let's do that again, please.
No worries. Through the chair, Mike Jamison, Connect 43 project director.
Okay, so with this Oracle contract, you're aligning everything together?
Correct. Yeah, this is one, if going back to the committee of the whole document, this is one of actually the first of several contracts over the next 2 to 4 months that we'll be presenting. So this contract, and full transparency, we should have had the term on the transmittal from the original contract expire May 15th, because the contract was broken into 2 phases. The second phase started May 15th, 2025, and ends May 15th, 2026. The resolution was based on the start date of March 19th. So this amendment is to extend the time to actually align with when the services will conclude in May 15th. And then there's a subsequent 2-year amendment that I anticipate would be hitting Commission's queue early next month.
Okay, let's just talk about this one right now.
Yep.
So I saw on there March 19th, and now you're saying it's going to change to May 15th of 2026?
Correct. Yep. The original transmittal had 12 months, but it really should have said May 15th, 2026, which is when the actual services end. The engagement was broken into 2 phases, one that started with HCM, and because we were still implementing ERP and EPM at the time, the second phase started closer to the go lives of those 2 environments, which is why it actually ends May 15th of 2026, as opposed to 12 months from when Commission approved, which was March 19th.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to go to commissioners for questions. Commissioner Clean, I see your hand. Oh, no, you're good. Okay. Anyone have any questions about these Oracle, or this Oracle contract, I should say? So it's in it's stated correctly how this thing goes down. Just we're lining everything up.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, there you are. Sorry. Okay. Commissioner Peterson Mayberry.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So through the chair, so Oracle, so are we've been contacted by employees around Oracle and how there's some challenges with transitioning from one system to the next and current pay, things of that nature. What's the process for employees who are having challenges with Oracle, whether it's the training piece, because we're hearing about that as well, or if you're on the receiving end of a process from Oracle, like how are we handling that? Because the inquiries are growing actually. And I know I'm the newest commissioner, but since the time that I've been here, I'm constantly hearing about challenges with Oracle.
Yep, no worries. And through the chair, there's a multi-tiered process in addressing issues at the base level. And again, whether that's training, whether that's an actual issue with the Oracle system that a user is experiencing, or it's an enhancement, which again, it's different than an issue. So it's not an issue, but it's something that the end user would like to see, i.e. A new report or changes to an existing report, functionality that they would like to see that would help, improve the operation, but it isn't necessarily an issue with the functionality that's currently available. That all really starts with, at the base level, we have a few ways for folks to ask questions. One is through the Connect 43 email address. Another is through working with the DM, if it's a non-M&B employee, working through the DMBS liaison for that particular department or elected office. And then there is the Oracle Compass and Connect 43 and Me, which are SharePoint sites that contain training information, updates, communication, and those are kind of our four main ways at the base level to deal with questions, issues, concerns. After that, it becomes a ticket process. So the Wayne County Help Desk ticket portal that everybody would use for anything Oracle or non-Oracle is the first point of actually logging the formal issue and or enhancement requests, and then those get routed to Wayne County IT as well as the business team on the Oracle side. And then there's a process where, again, depending on whether it's an issue or an enhancement requests, sorry about that. Enhancement requests get run through a joint process with Wayne County IT and Oracle, where they get decision and then assigned to be worked on by one of the managed services contract or Wayne County IT directly. Issues get reviewed by Wayne County IT and the business, and then depending on the nature of the issue and whether they can be solved at that level, they either are solved or they're escalated to our managed services contract. So that's when you see the MCS managed services or the application managed services, those are the contracts where essentially the county is escalating and tickets logged internally to that Oracle managed services tier of support for further resolution. And in some cases, this happens if that group, the managed services team, as well as the Wayne County business team and IT can't resolve the ticket, and we determine that it's something that Oracle, the vendor itself, needs to help us resolve. We then log what's called an Oracle service request with Oracle support. That's the third tier of support. And so that is the essentially kind of the highest level of escalation, where we're now working with Oracle, the vendor, to address an issue that we couldn't resolve locally. And in many cases, if it's at that level, it's an issue that isn't just specific to Wayne County. It's what Oracle might call a bug, where it's an issue that multiple Oracle customers are having. And so the resolution is to work the service request with Oracle support until the item is resolved. But in a nutshell, that's kind of how that process works. And Commissioner Peterson Mayberry, and I can just send this to you offline on the in the discussion document that we went over at the committee as a whole on February 4th. There's a few pages that summarize this process visually as well as provide some detail, and I'll send that to you just so you have that as reference for go forward conversations.
Through the chair, thank you, Mr. Jameson. So I do have that document, and I read that document. I'm not sure if it's as user-friendly for those who are impacted immediately. So if there is a short and sweet version of, if you have these issues, do this. If you have these issues, do this. I would love to see something like that. I think that would be helpful. I won't speak for all commissioners, but I'll just speak for myself. But I do have that document and went through that pretty thoroughly when we were in committee of the whole. But yet the issues are still coming up and coming to the commissioners.
Yep, no, and understood. And again, as part of kind of the this stabilization phase, that does happen. And what I would say is, as we're M&B is growing the DMBS operation, that's always a good place to start. But when in doubt, log a ticket at using the Wayne County Help Desk or Oracle Fusion service requests. We've published that information multiple places, but we can definitely recommunicate to make folks aware of, like, hey, if this happens, do this. If I have a training request, there's a JIRA to log for training. If I have an issue, there's a JIRA to log for issue. If I have an enhancement, there's a JIRA to log for that. If I have a report request, there's a JIRA to log for that. And that's our primary way of tracking issues at the base level all the way up through the Oracle support level.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And so when they're logging these and they're getting these tickets, are there backlogs on these tickets where things are not getting addressed quickly enough? And especially payroll. If there's payroll issues, do the Wayne County employees know, or should that be a reminder where they should be going to talk about those issues?
Yeah, no, good question. And the beauty of the system that Wayne County IT uses, JIRA, is it tracks everything. So as long as any questions, comments, concerns, status updates should be communicated through that actual JIRA ticket. So if you were to pull up one, you would see the history of all the communication on the particular ticket between the person assigned to servicing the ticket as well as the customer. So that's not to say that people don't get backlogged. And one of the benefits of the contract we're talking about is it literally helps alleviate items like backlog on issue resolution. The folks that Oracle has assigned to this contract, they literally assist our Wayne County SMEs and resources with everything that they do on the Oracle side, whether that's resolving tickets, whether that's participating in quarterly release testing and validation. So that's one of the reasons why we have this contract, is to address the internal capacity and the fact that on the Wayne County side, we have folks that are doing their day job in addition to the Oracle stuff, and sometimes they coincide, and other time, and sometimes they compete, quite honestly. So that's one of the benefits of having this contract in place, is to provide coverage for our Wayne County employees working on Oracle.
Okay, I have another question from Commissioner Kinesic.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to build on a bit of what Commissioner Peterson Mayberry was saying. But first, Mr. Jamison, want to thank you. We've been talking about Oracle a lot lately. We've got a lot of questions. You always come really prepared and you're willing to engage in the conversation. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and express my gratitude. I have a two-part question. I'm happy to revisit either or both of them if I drone on. But the first is recognizing that we're going through this shift with the employees in terms of the systems that they're interacting with, their functionality, et cetera. If you'd be able to talk to what sort of change management processes we built into the rollout and who is running point on those, such that the employees are a part of the process and feel a sense of engagement and buy-in on its rollout, and that we're able to address and mitigate any concerns they have in real time. So the first part of the question is really around change management. And then secondly, in my experience rolling out new systems like this, there's a huge difference between a need and a want. And when you talked about enhancements, that gave me some pause, because if the vendor is asking our employees, well, what do you want? They're going to give them everything under the sun, as they should. And the vendor's going to say, great, I can do any and all of that. And here's the price tag and the extension on the timeline. And before you know it, we wind up in a place where we're significantly over budget and significantly over our timeline. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit to what the decision matrix might be, or how we do an assessment of things that are core functionality matters that need to be addressed or fixed in order to make the system actually work for our employees, versus a want that results in an enhancement and an additional price tag. So the decision-making processes, I guess, around how we do that assessment between what we're building and adding to the system in flight.
Got it. And those are excellent questions. I'll start with the first one. So, when it comes down to, well, actually, I'll start with the latter one. When it comes down to when we talk about enhancement requests, post implementation. I mean, meaning we've already implemented Oracle and we have an enhancement request versus an issue where somebody is saying, hey, I'd like to see something incremental to what we currently have. But it's not that what we currently have is broken or not working. It's just I would like to see something incremental to help improve my, productivity, efficiency, et cetera. That process, one of the benefits of buying a cloud-based system and buying Oracle in particular is Oracle doesn't give you a lot of room to customize. So when we're talking enhancement requests at the managed services post implementation level, we're literally essentially saying that someone has requested something related to functionality in Oracle that we currently don't have. Now, again, everything we do is based on what we've already implemented and purchased. So these enhancement requests aren't necessarily creating change orders because, again, the implementation is done for HCM, ERP, EPM. These are enhancements at a more micro level saying, hey, do we have a better version of an AP agent report that, categorizes it this way? And then our response is to assess that enhancement request. Let's use that example because that's a real-time example and say, okay, what training do we already have that might address that question and say, hey, it already does exist. Let's point you to it and make sure you know how to use it. What tools do we already have that address that enhancement request? So, for example, in a related response to a question like do we have a different way to show AP aging? We created what's called an OTBI analysis, which is another tool, a reporting tool that Oracle provides that essentially allows the user to be more self-service. And so we're actually doing some follow-up training now on OTBI because as a self-service tool, now that folks are 3 to 4 months into Oracle, it's a good reminder, it's a good refresher training to say, hey, you don't always have to request something through the formal request channel. Utilize this tool to do some testing on your own, and you might be able to create an analysis that satisfies your request and thus would reduce the volume of tickets because folks are essentially kind of able to drink from the water directly as opposed to the water being provided, to use that analogy. So that when we say enhancement, we're not talking about enhancement from the standpoint of the design phase of the implementation where folks would say, here's what I do now, here's what I need Oracle to do. And then we would go through the process of vetting that and coming up with the design that we would then configure. This is post-implementation. Functionality is available. We get new functionality every quarter. And folks, as they use the system, try to understand the system, are essentially asking questions about, hey, I don't see this. This is something that I think would help me. Here's the ticket, describing the request. And then we review that like we review everything else. And the goal is always to work within the configuration of what we've already procured. If for whatever reason it was something beyond that, we would do a level of effort analysis and prescribe, if this were to be done, here's how much, here's the level of effort, time, cost, resources needed to do it. And then that decision would be run up through the executive leadership team if it made it that far. Does that answer that second question?
It does. Thank you.
Yep. And then quick, I went too long. Can you remind me of the first question again?
Really around change management.
Yeah.
Who's owning that process?
Good question.
How are we engaging?
Yeah, near to my heart. So we proactively built into my PMO a change management function. Before we actually went live with ERP and EPM, while we still had the system implementation change management team on board, we onboarded a change management coordinator that actually is a position in my org chart, and that person shadowed the existing change management team from Danyati, and essentially started transitioning that change management work before we even went live in October with ERP and EPM. So that was part one. Part two was allowing that person to kind of assess the volume of work post go live, and that's essentially what's been happening now, and determine what changes to the org chart or additional resources would be needed to kind of manage the load. Right now, we have that position and a change management analyst position. We've not been able to fill that change management analyst position, so we have gotten backlogged in some cases with some of the volume of just work, particularly around training and working with our functional team to accommodate the training requests. We are leveraging PHR in this regard to assist, minimally in coordinating training, and we are training up a PHR resource on Oracle functionality, so that we would have an additional resource outside of our primary subject matter experts to perform training. But I would say, Commissioner Kniezek, it's a work in process, but we really anticipated we would need this permanent function ongoing in our Oracle PMO. We budgeted for 2 positions. Right now we have 1 field. The volume is a lot, but the game plan would be to leverage that person's experience to kind of look at do we have all the resources we need to manage the volume based on again what we're experiencing post go live with all 3 of the major systems being in tow. So we have budgeted for and planned for a change management function in perpetuity in the M&B Oracle PMO.
Okay. I think in my conversations with commissioners, we've been talking about this a long time. It's costing a lot of money. And I think it's kind of playing out the way that some of us had predicted years ago. Again, just in our experience, we've gone live. You talked about HCM, the ERP, and EPM piece. We're so close to, I think, landing the plane. And again, in my experience, the vendors try to keep you hovering at 1,000 feet, because as soon as you land the plane, the gravy train ends. And so I think we're just looking for, I don't want to keep using the same analogy over and over. We want the plane to land. And we know and understand, of course, that there's going to be, post go live M&O and enhancements and other things are going to have to continue in perpetuity, as they do with all systems. But I think it feels to us like it's starting to drag a smidge. I'm not saying that's your fault. I'm certainly not saying that's your fault. But as you continue to move forward and navigate the space and more questions continue to arise, I think just let that be your North Star of what we're looking for and hoping to see. And the sooner that we can have that, I think, clearly spelled out and communicated to us, the better we're all going to feel about it. But again, I recognize that a transition of this size and magnitude is a bit like turning the Titanic. And so just again, want to express my appreciation for your good work on this too. Thank you.
Commissioner Kleen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In your description of this proposal, we kick problems to the Oracle team that arises and they make evaluations on the problem. Is that correct?
No, so they assist in delegated tasks. So if you think about it from the standpoint of a Wayne County employee who's also heavily engaged on the Oracle project, and I'll use the subject matter expert in PHR who has responsibility for 3 modules in HCM. The main thing that this contract is addressing is her capacity to handle all of the volume of work. We just talked about tickets that come in for issues with Oracle, training requests, enhancement requests. Every quarter we just went live with 26A this past Monday. Every quarter we get a new release, and you have to go through a process of vetting and validating and testing the new release, and all that takes time. And so what this contract does is it helps supplement our Wayne County employees who are engaged in the project with resources that already have Oracle functional and technical knowledge. So their learning curve ascension is really limited to just learning how the county is using Oracle and how the county is handling this work. But they know the system, functionally and technically, which is a big boon to helping, again, get the work done faster and expediting our path to stabilization. So all of the work that is coming through is still coming through to our Wayne County subject matter experts and related team. How that work then gets divvied and allocated is a discussion between, many cases, the PMO, those subject matter experts on the Wayne County side, and then the Oracle SMEs from this contract, based on, again, what capacity, the urgency of the request, and the ability of the resource that it's assigned to knock it out quickly, because not everybody is equally adept in everything across the board, and we'll get to that point, but we're still 3 to 4 months out, post go live for ERP and EPM. So hopefully that answers your question, Commissioner.
Well, answer something, but I think I should have asked the question a different way. I thought I heard in your description here that when problems get put on the Oracle folks' plate, they're looking at, is this a systemic issue with our software? Because you say other places that have this contract.
Oh, I got you.
Mm-hmm. Or problems that are specific to Wayne County. And what I'm wondering is how responsive Oracle is to problems that are specific to Wayne County, as opposed to, oh yeah, that's a problem we have in the software, and we'll just throw in a patch and we'll make it work. Are some problems taking a lot more time to resolve with Oracle than others?
Yeah, and let me explain that that delineation, because we're talking about two different groups of Oracle. So the Oracle Managed Services team, they're with the county day to day, working on anything that gets escalated, from tier 1 to tier 2. So Wayne County IT and the business, attempt to resolve. If can't be resolved, or they don't have the capacity, they escalate it to Oracle Managed Services. So those are those contracts, contracts for EPM, HCM, ERP, the credit service units. That serves us day to day on anything that we don't have the capacity or technical know-how to resolve. What I was referring to with the issues that might be reflective across multiple users, that's when we've identified that the issue we're trying to resolve can't be resolved locally. And so there literally is a process of logging the ticket in a different system with Oracle support. So we're now talking Oracle, the vendor, and this comes through the actual licenses that we procure to use the Oracle Cloud system. That's that's Oracle, the corporation, support team, working with Oracle Managed Services and Wayne County PMO IT business team to resolve a ticket that we couldn't resolve between Wayne County and Oracle Managed Services. And so we escalated it to Oracle, the company's support team, to work as a service request. And then what I was mentioning is in many cases when that happens, that's because the issue is generally more widespread than just the county. Not all the time, but in many cases it's what they call a bug. And so to answer your question about responsiveness, everything that gets escalated to Oracle support at the vendor level gets a severity assigned to its severity 1, severity 2, severity 3. Severity 1 is the highest severity. That essentially means that we're telling Oracle we don't have a workaround for whatever this issue is.
Yeah.
We like it, and so they've been very responsive, and obviously we have as well in resolving the SEV 1 tickets that we have had as of right now, and for the past several weeks, we have not had a SEV 1 ticket, but when we do, we jump on it, and Oracle jumps on it as well. there's some additional kind of labels that you can add to it. But the bottom line is that's mission critical number one to be resolved. We haven't had many of them, and when we do, we've resolved them quickly with Oracle support's help.
Yeah, a lot of overlapping responsibilities. We have Oracle at 2 or 3 different steps here. So I'm just going to comment here, and it's based on my colleagues' previous questions. What I don't want to see happen here is we get slow walked by Oracle. And I think Commissioner Knizek probably asked that question the best, but this is what I'm concerned about sitting at this table, is that we don't get slow walked here and not get resolution to these things. But manana, we'll get to it. We'll let her. So that's a concern that I'm expressing here at the table. It's not really a question. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions, commissioners? Okay, if I could get a motion for this item, please. We have a motion by Commissioner Clean. And a second by Commissioner Knizek. If you can please vote on your tablets.
Commissioner Peterson Mayberry abstained. Motion carried.
If we can move on, please, to there is an addenda, and there's one item from IT along with number 2. So number 2 and number 6, we could take those 2 items, please.
Item 2, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to a 5-year contract with SHI International Corp. To purchase an additional 6,000 VM licenses used to perform backup recovery and retention solutions for county data.
Okay, hi. You could please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, Ryan Hayes, Division Director of Computing and Infrastructure.
Okay, so you need to get 6,000 more licenses to add on. So that's a total of 8,091 that we'll be having.
That's a little confusing.
Okay.
They're license units. So this was for us to add an additional 500 licenses to accommodate backups for users, SharePoint sites, OneDrive, stuff like that.
Okay.
So apologies for the confusion there.
Yes, that did not read like that. So I just want to make sure. Okay, so these licenses are for the cloud-based system for backup, retention, and recovery.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Commissioners, questions on this item number 2? Okay, if we could move on to number 6, please.
Moving to item 6 on the addenda, requesting commission approval of Amendment 1 to an addendum to a 1-year cooperative agreement with an option to renew with SHI International for the Splunk Cloud Platform software subscription to collect, search, monitor, report, and analyze all of the county's real-time historical network activity.
Bridget, Ryan.
This is a renewal for an existing agreement that we have with Splunk. So basically we take all of our sign-in logs, all of our server logs, and we send it to a centralized place. This is the Splunk Cloud. And then another contract that we have that's coming up, probably next GovOps, is Blue Voyant then monitors that log collection for us and then acts on our behalf if there's any anomalies or any issues that might pop up.
Okay. All enhancing our system.
Correct.
Thank you. Okay, commissioners, any questions on this item? Okay, could I get a motion for number 2 and number 6, please? Thank you, Commissioner Clean, for that motion, and seconded by Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. If you could please vote. Oh, wait a second. Oh. We could please vote on our tablets.
Who doesn't? But I'm one of the commissioners.
All right, if we could move, sorry, did we vote?
Yes, motion
Okay,
carried.
thank you. Okay. All right, we're going to move on to number 3, please.
Moving back to the agenda, item 3, Requesting commission approval of Amendment 3 to a 6-month addendum to a cooperative purchase agreement with Insight Global to continue to provide staff augmentation for the Management and Budget Department.
Okay, if you guys can come to the table, please. Go ahead and introduce yourselves, please.
Good afternoon, Jeanette Colsar, Chief of Staff at MMB.
Aaron Wagner, Procurement Director, Management and Budget. There you go.
There we go. All right. Sorry. Betsy Laughlin, Deputy Chief of Staff for Wayne County.
So this is a consulting contract trying to find people to help us. We have many vacant positions, and I'd like to know how we're going to, I noticed in the reading that we have permanent postings and we're hoping to find full-time positions by September 30th, 2026. So how is Insight Global going to help us with that?
Right. So greatly appreciate the committee's time and consideration for this contract amendment 3. So for history, if you may recall, the commission approved the second amendment to this contract in November of 2024 to allow M&B to hire approximately 30 positions. We had a large number of vacancies at the time. We knew we were going live with Oracle in October. We needed to staff up. So that was the purpose and the intent of that amendment back in November. We did bring on folks. We have roughly 30 consultants on to fill the gap that approximately 61 vacancies have resulted in the department. And so lessons learned, again, that Amendment 2 was to fund those 30 positions for about 6 months. Lessons learned, 6 months wasn't long enough to update those job descriptions, to update the salaries to align to market and hire folks. We need more time. So again, we're asking for additional funding to maintain status quo of those 30 positions through September 30. So the term of the contract will stay the same. We just need additional funding to allow those folks to stay on board while we finalize those job descriptions. We anticipate we're working closely with HR to start posting next month. Okay. So the September 30 is that all those positions would be filled by September 30. So we've already posted a few positions. We have critical vacancies right now that are posted, including the Division Director of Financial Reporting, which oversees 4 units where a lot of the activity with Oracle is happening, and that's where we've got a lot of the noise from employees coming from. So that's a critical vacancy. We're very strategic in how we interviewing and what skill sets needed, to get us to future state. And so we, you mentioned, I know we were here discussing this process with Korn Ferry a few months ago. That's how we brought Betsy on board back in October, and we are engaging Korn Ferry for this, for that position as well. It's been really difficult to fill. It's been vacant since May. So, so again, the plan is to wind down from the contract. There's, we've talked about ongoing needs in the department across the county, really, for temporary staff, similar to how, malls staff up for the holidays during busy times, to have a more comprehensive approach, go to RFP, for that type of staffing. So even though with this specific contract, we do envision clearly winding down by September 30, there may be a real need for ongoing temporary staff where it makes sense to not bring on full-time with benefits employees all year long. So that's something that will be coming back. And I know CFO Wallace has discussed with Aaron recently.
Okay, I'm going to open it up to commissioners. Commissioner Angela or Peterson Mayberry, sorry.
Thank you. Through the chair. So a couple of questions. the positions, the 81 positions that have been filled as of February 17th, were those filled with the assistance of this vendor?
No,
Okay, so
No.
we were able to do that from Wayne County.
right. The difference with the 81 and the 61 is the 142, correct?
Okay.
So the 61 are vacant. The Insight Global consultants primarily are filling the vacancies. Those 81 positions are Wayne County employees.
So so you mentioned, because one of my concerns was around bringing in temporary staff, not a fan of external agencies to hire. And that was why I asked this, because if we've been able to fill these, then I don't know what precludes us from filling those additional ones. If you're saying time is of essence and we don't have the manpower to do so, then I will receive that as your answer. And I think Commissioner Kenlott mentioned this in a couple of meetings as well, making sure that we can sustain these processes in-house.
Mhm.
And so what does that look like so that we don't keep seeing external companies coming in to try to do this for us?
Sure.
So you're saying that we did those in-house. And then my other question was around, so the candidate, the senior executive project manager, has this person been hired?
Senior. So I think that you're looking at the sheet where we got to the ask, the 2.67 million.
Yes.
Some of those titles needed to be updated.
Oh, so
So to answer your, can I go back to answer your
absolutely.
question? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So M&B hasn't posted many positions since I've been with M&B for a year. And as we've discussed in previous meetings, we're updating our job descriptions, right? Most of the positions in M&B are these department supervisor, department manager, department administrator that really don't attract finance accountants, financial analysts, those like the skill sets that's needed to perform finance, budget, procurement, accounting functions in M&B. So we've been working closely with PHR to update all of our job descriptions. And working with the unions, the career paths. So that's what's really taking a long time. Because we've been able to post for appointed positions. There's more flexibility. We don't obviously have as many, but these other, the bulk of our positions, we needed to update those job descriptions and get them obviously to align to market, because it wouldn't attract the talent that's really needed in the county to align to operational excellence, to industry standards, to compete with, city of Detroit, with other counties. So that's really been the roadblock in filling a lot of our vacancies, is because we did not have updated job descriptions that align to market.
So, and through the chair, so I don't believe we have to reinvent the wheel, right? So trying to find out what best practices are, what language they're using, and more importantly, what are they doing to not only attract but retain. So the time frame, and I'm not sure how long it's taken to update the job descriptions, but even in that in itself, if we need to bring somebody to do that part, okay, that part is done, so that we don't spend a lot of resources in something that we're losing talent when others, as we're trying to do that, there are people who are going to other spaces. And I've talked to HR, just, talking about how are we trying to attract this talent? What are the methods that we're using? Because the talent is out there. And so finding out where those gaps are, and let's close those gaps so that we can really not only attract good talent, but retain good talent too. So, and then you said the other question, the job description for this one needs to be updated for the position. So it's not a senior executive project manager.
That's an old title.
The old title that's in here for us. Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sure. And did you say that we would be posting these positions by February? End of February. Oh, it is.
It is the end of February. Yeah. So again, we posted a few, but the bulk of them will be starting in March. And we've also paused because we want to make sure that our existing employees have an understanding of the plan. And it's taken time to really get that message across. We've had numerous meetings, you sent numerous communications, and we just want to make sure that they understand where they fit in the future state, because there definitely is a role for them in the future state. But if we posted and that message wasn't coming across, there would be a lot more noise to commission about what are these positions? They're taking my job, and that's not the case at all. So we're having these discussions over the next couple of weeks with the union. We've had meetings with HR to make sure that, hey, we're able to, to implement this plan. We've met with the unions, again, so that everyone's in line. But it's just taking a lot more time because we want to make sure that we have everything in place and aligned so that there's less pushback, not clearly that there's not going to be any noise or no pushback. We're just trying to mitigate it as much as we can.
Yes, because we have employees here that are doing a good job and we want to make sure that we retain them and that they know that they are, they have a space here.
Mhm.
So, yes, I want to make sure, I'm glad that I know it's taking a long time, but I think anytime we do something correctly and efficiently, sometimes it does take a little more time. And so it's not, we don't love having, not our own employees, but I understand what you're talking about. I have Commissioner Kleen. You have a question?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And good afternoon, I guess.
Good afternoon.
What I'm looking for are three numbers just to give me a snapshot of today.
Mhm.
How many budgeted positions are there, one, in MMB? Of those positions, how many are being filled by non-county employees?
Mhm.
And then the third number, we'll do a little addition, subtraction. How many open jobs do you still have?
So we have 142 budgeted positions as of the most recent adopted budget. We have 61 vacancies. Approximately 30 of those vacancies are being filled by consultants.
So half of our budgeted positions are vacant?
A little
Say-
less than half.
Pardon me?
61 out of the 142.
Yeah, well, it's
40.
it's
I mean, we are MMB.
close enough for rock and roll.
Yes,
but
yes. It's a
almost-
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a
almost
lot.
half.
And-
And out of those, that would be 56 or something. Vacancies that we have, 30 of those are non-county employees.
So approximately, we have 30 consultants. And again, it's give or take because
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
pretty
know. I'm
fluid.
just-
We let them go.
But it gives
Um,
me a picture of where we're at.
Mhm. And a lot of those vacancies are due to people have heard the acronym DMBS, Direct Management and Budget Services Division, that expansion of the satellite
Nobody's heard
offices.
that. Not
Oh.
me, but somebody has.
So there's the satellite offices have been around, my understanding, for a while.
They
So we expanded that function into a full division, DMBS. It was part of the restructuring plan that was submitted to commission years ago,
Mhm.
but we just stood it up this past year. So a lot of those vacancies are in that newly established division that Betsy oversees. So it's not like we've had these vacancies for years by any means. They are newer because of that new division that was stood up.
But again, I'll leave it here, Madam Chair. 43%.
Yes.
That's a very good indication why a lot of our financial processes in the county are struggling.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'll look for those three numbers next time we get together. See
Yes.
how they've changed.
Yes, and they will change. And again, we too.
Let's just hold on to bold talk like that.
When are we getting together? No, but we are anxious too to fill these vacancies. I mean,
No
that's,
doubt,
you
no
know,
doubt.
it's a
But
lot.
these things can be unpredictable for
Mhm.
a lot of reasons. So what's the old, I think it was Casey Stengel. I don't like making predictions, especially about the future.
Mhm.
And I think we're in that kind of a mode right now. So for me, this commissioner, I'll just monitor those three numbers whenever we get together,
Okay.
whenever. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Sure. And then I'm going to go back to
Just
Commissioner
last
Peterson.
question.
Mayberry.
Thank you. Through the chair, the positions that are available, are those entry-level positions?
Some of them are.
So is there an opportunity for current employees to upskill themselves to some of the other positions and then majority of where we need to bring people in would be at entry level?
For sure. And
Okay.
Betsy's spending a lot of time, and she can definitely speak to this, is each existing employee is going to have a succession plan.
Okay.
So this is going to document exactly where where they want to be in the future, how they get there, whether it's training, whether it's certifications, but it's a plan.
Okay.
And it'll vary by employee, but we definitely are figuring out exactly where they fit into the structure.
Okay. I hear that often.
It's good to hear.
Yes, I hear it.
Because I think that's what I was trying to express earlier, is that we have employees here that could fit, and then maybe, give them, that opportunity. So thank you. Okay. Motion on item number 3, please. And second, please. Thank you. Commissioner Clean and Commissioner Knezek, if we could please vote on our tablet.
Yeah, as a rule.
Motion carried.
Thank you. If we could move on to item number 4, please.
Item 4, requesting commission approval of Amendment 4 to a 1-year legal services agreement that can be renewed by the parties' mutual consent with Clark Hill PLC for pending litigation for various commission legal matters.
Okay.
Wow.
Any questions on this item, commissioners?
I want to hear from council.
Well, thank you. I was going to go there. Commission Counsel, if you would like to talk about this item, please.
Through the chair to this honorable body. So this contract will add funds to the existing contract we would have with Clark Hill to handle 8 legal matters, cases among other legal related issues. So it will add $150,000, and it will, I'm extending it out an additional year, and hopefully that additional money will get us through the end of the resolution of these matters, hopefully.
Thank you very much. All right, any questions other than that? Okay. Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Clean, second from Commissioner Peterson Mayberry. Please vote on your tablet.
Motion carried.
And then we will move to our addenda, item number 6, please.
Item 5,
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, 5. You're right. Thank you.
Item 5, requesting commission approval of retroactive Amendment 4 to a 2-year sole source software license agreement and maintenance plan with 4 1-year options to renew with Bottom Line Technologies to continue providing C-Series check printing software to print and process direct deposit advices for the Treasurer's Office during the county's transition to the Oracle system.
Okay, and who is here for this item, please?
Good afternoon.
Can you press your microphone, please, and then just redo your
Yeah,
introduction?
Hi, Carl Stafford, Director of Special Projects, Wayne County Treasurer's Office.
Hello, Mr. Stafford.
Hello.
So we have this contract, has many amendments, and it was for a check writing software that you are no longer using, correct?
That is correct.
And just an outstanding payment that you need to make?
Yes, we had to extend the contract to cover the period through September 30th of 25. It was pending the implementation of the Oracle system. So we had to maintain the ability to print checks and have support during that period.
And we also approved a contract for another printing platform back in July of 2025. Is that being used right now?
We're in the process of implementing that contract as a backup system to the Oracle check printing system.
It's going to be a backup
Yes.
system to Oracle.
Yes.
So we are paying for Oracle, but also this contract is kind of there too, just in case you need it.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right. I hope that gets figured out very soon for you over at the Treasurer's Office. We want to make sure that people are getting paid promptly. Commissioners, Commissioner Clean, would you like to ask Mr. Stafford a question?
Sure, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to ask Commission Counsel, who had a series of questions on this contract, 3 or 4 questions. Since you did those interrogatories and got the responses from the Treasurer's Office, Where do your questions stand now? Are any of those resolved?
Oh, through the chair, through this item, yes.
And the first question on unauthorized performance, has that been resolved for your satisfaction?
Through the chair, so the contract in question was retroactive because they continue to work even after the expiration of the last contract. This contract has ended, right? The term of this contract ended. There are no additional services being provided to the county under this contract. We did receive the appropriate paperwork with regards to retroactivity. And so, yes, I would say that it's been satisfied, Commissioner.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome. Any other questions on this matter? Okay, if I could get a motion for this item, please. Thank you, Commissioner Clean, and seconded by Commissioner Knizik. Please vote on your tablet.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item, Madam Clerk.
Moving back to the agenda, F, such other matters as may be properly submitted before the committee.
I know of none. Next item, please.
G, public comments.
Are there any emails, anyone on Zoom that would like to make public comment at this time?
No emails were received and no one on Zoom indicating that they would like to speak.
Okay. Anyone in the audience that would like to make public comment? You have 2 minutes. Second call for public comment. Okay, public comment is now closed. Next item, please.
Adjournment.
Okay, I have a motion